Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Has it started? Has it started?
Yes, ma'am. Recording start किया है actually मैंने.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back, everyone, to the session of brand management. So, yesterday we spoke about, we stopped here, role of brand positioning in marketing. Okay, we will continue with interconnectedness of brand positioning with marketing strategies and tactics. That's a long heading. Don't worry, I'll simplify it. I have a couple of examples as well. So, now what is, you understood what is brand positioning, right? We also understood the statement for brand positioning. Now, brand positioning influences and informs every aspect of marketing strategy and tactics. Say, for example, target audience selection. What is the target audience? If you are a luxury brand, if you own a luxury brand, your target audience would be affluent influencers who has sophisticated taste and high-end publication, exclusive events, and all these things. So once you understand the target audience, the brand positioner will also help you with the target audience selection. That is important because only then can you write the right, ensure that your messages reach the right people. Next is messaging and communication. Now, do you think brand positioning can have an impact in messaging and communication? Let's say that is you are nowadays this e-bikes are in trend. So you have a company which is into EV batteries production, EV company. Okay, you manufacture. I mean, you are into EV, electric vehicle. Would you rather write a message targeting the children, school children, or the school principal, which might need an e-vehicle to transfer to get the kids to school and back? Now, did you understand how is messaging and communication important? Okay, so you need to write your message which will actually address your target audience. For example, let's say a brand positioning as eco-friendly would emphasize sustainability and natural ingredients in its messaging. Make sense? Channel selection. Now, brand positioning can also guide you in selection of the marketing channels. If you want to target the schools, or let's say if you want to target, just a moment, please. Please give me a moment. I'll just drink some water. Sorry about that. I'm back. Now, let's say that you are into a brand which will create T-shirts with fancy quotes. So, who would your target audience be? It would be young adults. Now, if you want your target your young adults, Which channels will you prioritize? Now, the demographic, let's break it down to the age group between 25 and 35. Where will these guys hang out? Instagram? In Instagram, how would you target these audience actually? It will be through influencer marketing. So now you understand how channel selection matters and how brand positioning can help you in the channel selection. Finally comes, not finally, then comes product development and pricing. Now you understand your target audience, you know where they hang out, you know the messages, the right kind of messages to send them, and you also know where whom to contact for that. Next comes the product development and pricing. You if you are, let's talk about the first example here, a luxury watch. You're a luxury watch, and you're as a brand positioned, as your brand is positioned as a premium provider, you would invest in high quality materials and also charge a premium price, right? So that was about product development and pricing. Then comes customer experience. Now, your brand positioner will shape the overall customer experience. It should ensure that not only at one touch point, oh, you came to the website, you saw, wow, what a fancy watch. You went to the store and there was like very cheap watches. So this should not happen. The customer experience should be the same at every touch point. Are we clear about interconnectedness of brand positioning with marketing strategies and techniques? Now we can move on to the benefits of effective brand positioning. Let's talk about it one by one. First one would be enhance brand awareness and recognition. How would you do that? What do you think? How would you enhance the brand awareness and recognition of your brand? How would you do that as a brand manager? Or how would you attract and retain the target customers? So, the benefits of effective brand positioning, once you have an effective brand positioning, these are the things you can do. Enhance brand awareness and recognition, attract and retain customers, command premier pricing, increase market share, and build a sustainable competitive advantage. Let's talk about it one by one. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about it one by one. Enhance brand awareness and recognition. It is very important that you have an effective brand positioning so that your target audience can easily remember and identify your brand. If you are like, you would say that my brand color is yellow or orange and blue. On the website, you will show orange and blue, but in the store, you will say all black color. That is, it is not, the customers won't be able to recognize your brand. Let's take an example of McDonald. McDonald has this golden arc which it uses for the M. Now that shows uh, that is globally recognized, and it can instantly associate with the brand. Oh, this means McDonald and this means food. I'm hungry. That is what I need to look for. Got it. Then is to attract and retain the customers. So if you have a very clear brand positioning, which will communicate your unique value proposition and which can also resonate with your ideal audience, that will definitely attract the right kind of audience. Let's take the same example of McDonald's. Now, McDonald's has this jingle kind of music, and it has that M arc. It has the the man sitting out on the chair. I forgot his name, sorry. All this is very inviting. Isn't it? At the moment you look at McDonald's, the photos, everything, as a customer, it seems very attractive. Once you get it, you like start liking their products, it can easily retain the customers as well. Then is command premium pricing. Now, if you are a very strong brand, if you have a very strong brand position, then you can actually charge higher prices than your competitors, right? Because the customers have already perceived your brand, and it knows that whatever this brand is offering is superior value and has a unique experience. They will definitely be willing to pay you more. For example, Rolex watches, when you compare it, it has a premium price, right? And that is because of the association with luxury, craftsmanship, and prestige. Increase market share by targeting the right kind of audience and constantly delivering on your brand promise. You can capture a larger portion of the market and you can definitely outperform your competitors. An example could be Amazon's positioning as a convenient and customer centric online retailer. This allows them to dominate the other e-commerce market. What is it? That whatever you want, you can order it from your ghar ka shop or your household shop. I think that's something similar. They stick to their tagline also. They will sell everything from groceries to whatever you want, you will get it on Amazon. And finally, you can build a sustainable competitive advantage. If you have a well defined brand position, that can create a very unique space in the market, which will be difficult for your competitors to replicate. And what will this do? This will provide a long term differentiation and protection against market fluctuation. Let's talk about key components of brand positioning. First, we already know target audience. That's the first thing you need to do. Who are you talking to? Clearly define and please go through this. I'm so sorry, there's really something wrong with my throat. Please go through the slide. I'll be right back. Now you would say, why do I need a target audience? I can serve everyone. Let's see. You go to a group of people and just shout, hey, everyone, listen to me. No one will listen to you. If you say, people wearing yellow shirt, listen to me, then everyone wearing yellow shirt will be listening. That is target audience. Getting my point? You need to know exactly who you are talking to. If you niche it down, if you just say a statement, uh, we serve the best burgers, or okay, let's say you're a service provider. I teach English grammar. Who will come to me? But if I niche it down, I teach English grammar to people preparing for competitive exams. Everyone preparing for competitive exams will come to me. I have a very niche down audience. So that is the importance of target audience identification. So once you identify this target audience, that would be, the next step would be much easier. Next is understanding. First, you understood your audience. Now, understand what do they need and what do they want. How would you do that? You will go to your competitors' pages, understand over there. Is there any gap that you can solve? You go to forums like Quora, Reddit, and any such community. Understand or any Facebook groups that wherever your customers or target audience are hanging out. Go there, understand their pain points, their desires, their aspiration, if there is an unmet need, and then you as a brand would fulfill it. Unique selling proposition. There are many people who teach English grammar for competitive exams in the market. What sets you aside? Why should I come to you? That is what USP means. So you need to have a unique selling proposition. How are you different from rest of the competitors? Have a USP in place and then build on that USP and deliver on that USP. Brand values and proposition. We already spoke about this. A brand need to have a value that will guide your brand's actions and decision. You need to develop a brand's personality, which will clearly reflect these values and will resonate with your target audience as well. Okay, you can go through this brand. This brand's Patagonia, so they have a very clear-cut value around their social responsibility. I really love this brand. You go and check that brand out. Okay. Finally, then comes competitive analysis. Who are you up against? Who are your competitors? What are they doing differently? What are their weakness? Do a SWOT analysis. What are their strengths? What are their weakness? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? And how can you fit in? Then comes, are we clear so far about key components of brand positioning? Developing a brand positioning statement. Now, yeah, at the start of the course, we spoke about this, right? There was a statement. You have to come up with a brand positioning statement. How to do that? This is the format of coming up with a brand positioning statement. For for is the target audience. Who? What are their needs and wants? The brand name is what is that? USP, unique category. That then provides key benefits and because there's a reason to believe. Let's have a look at a couple of examples. Nike, for athletes, that is the target audience, in pursuit of inspiration and innovation, that is need or want. Nike is the brand name, is what is uniqueness, performance brand that helps them achieve, provides key benefits, achieve their full potential because reason to believe we understand the athlete is in everyone. Do you understand? This is how you write a brand positioning statement. Volvo. For safety conscious premium families, Volvo is a family automobile that offers maximum safety because we have always put people first. Apple. For individuals who want the best personal computing experience, Apple leads the way in innovation because we believe that people with passion and can change the world for the better. Dove. For women who want to feel beautiful and confident, Dove is a personal care brand that empowers real beauty because we believe beauty should be source of confidence, not anxiety. Sounds good? Now, what is the purpose of this brand positioning statement? Please go through it. I'm really sorry, I have a bad throat. Now, when you looked at the statements, what did you see in common over there? The clarity of your brand's identity. It actually defines who you are, what do you offer, and why are you different. Guide marketing and communication efforts. Yes, and it facilitates decision making as well. So, this is how a brand positioning statement is built. Correct? These are the examples. Now, now that we understood how a brand positioning statement looks like, now we will talk about the brand positioning process. First one is research and analysis. Know your market. Conduct a thorough marketing research and understand your industry. How would you do that? You can conduct surveys or you can go to the social media platforms, communities, and understand what is going on over there. Understand your audience, your competitors. They gather data on the consumers' preferences, what are the trends, and the unmet needs. This is how you can know your market. Once you know your market, next step in research and analysis is understand your brand. Now that you know what is in trend, what does the markets need, you will understand your brand now. Now, understand your brand strengths, weakness, values, and current market perception about your brand. Analyze your customers' feedback. and then identify the areas of improvement. That is how you what you'll do to understand your brand. And analyze competitors. Research and analysis is a continuous process. You cannot just do it once and just sit idle. Oh, I'm done with the research. It is a continuous process. Analyze your competitors, do the SWOT analysis. Research analysis is done. Then we move on to the strategy development. Define your target audience. Okay, we already know how to do that. We covered it over here. Once you define your target audience, you will craft a brand positioning statement. We studied here how to develop a brand positioning statement. Then choose your positioning approach. Now that everything is taken care of, you will understand. You will be able to um, choose your positioning approach. What kind of approach are you going for? It can be, for example, it can be based on your product attributes, the price, use case, user, competitor, or any cultural symbols. We'll cover all this in detail. Whatever aligns with your brand and resonates with your target audience. Once that is done, next step is implementation and execution. Develop your brand identity. Create a visual and verbally identify your whatever reflects your brand positioning and whatever will resonate with your target audience. Create a proper visual, create your logo, create a color palette, font, everything. Your brand identity is ready. Now integrate it into the marketing communications. Whenever you're communicating, use your logo and use a footer, everything into all the marketing communications. Deliver your brand promise. If you promise sustainability, you better deliver that. That is what execution is all about. You just don't promise, no, we are going to do this and you deliver nothing. Don't do that. Monitor and evaluation, track the brand's performance. This is very important. So, regularly you need to keep on monitoring the key matrices. If you have a team, give them a KPI for weekly basis, monthly basis, so you will understand what's going wrong or what's going right. Analyze the market changes. Stay up to date about the industry trends. You can use social media platforms for that. That's the best way to understand the industry trend. And analyze competitors' activities, if there is any shift in their consumer preferences, monitor all these things and be prepared to adapt your brand positioning if necessary. For example, you remember, I don't know if you guys know about this company, BlackBerry. There was this phone, BlackBerry phone, which has like keypad. It was when it was launched, it was a change in the mobile industry itself. Blueberry, BlackBerry. But what happened is they were very rigid. They, when these phones became touchpad, they did not change. They did not adapt, and they gradually they perished. Now no one knows about BlackBerry. That's what happened. You need to keep on make adjustments whenever there is a necessity. Now we will talk about things in details, like how to position your brand on product attributes and what are its benefits. And this particular approach, where you position your brand based on product attributes, this will uh, this can actually help you to set yourself apart from your competitors because you are showcasing what makes you so unique and what makes you desirable for your target audience. Here, this is what you can highlight. You can highlight the product features, benefits that differentiate the brand from competitors. We can even emphasize on the quality, innovation, or the value as well. Here is an example. Tesla, it emphasizes on cutting edge technology, sustainability, and high performance to position its electric vehicles as the future of transportation. Okay. Next one is positioning, brand positioning based on price and quality. Here you can, let's see, here you can, what you can do is you can show the relationship between price and quality to position yourself in the market. There are two directions in which you can go. Now, so for example, the strategy here is if you want to price yourself as a premium or a luxury group option, then your strategy is that your brand is exclusive, aspirational, and it's associated with superior quality, craftsmanship, prestige. The target customer would be definitely be willing to pay a premium price. Who, especially who seeks the status and exclusivity. Such people. Here is an example. Rolex watches, Louis Vuitton handbags. You would say, oh, they are so expensive. Louis Vuitton is into child labor or malpractices, but still they have a market. BMW cars. And there can be another way of based on price and quality where you say position the brand for a value of money choice. This is just the reverse of it. So, what are the opportunities over here when you position based on price and quality? What do you think? There would be definitely be a higher profit margin due to premium pricing. So, in if you are selling a watch for like 5,000 rupees, instead of selling a watch for 50,000 rupees, how many watches will you have to sell for 5,000 to make 50,000? And there you're just selling one watch. So that is one of the opportunities here. Second would be strong brand royalty and customer advocacy. If you deliver whatever is promised, then there could be an opportunity for brand extension and collaboration with different luxury brands. And there could also be an ability to create a sense of exclusiveness and aspiration around your brand. So these are a few opportunities when you position based on price and quality. Then is Oh, uh, that is when you place a brand as a premium or a luxury option. Now, second option, position as a value for money choice. Here, the you are focusing more on quality of product or services at a competitive price. This will appeal the budget conscious customers and who wants to get the best with their limited budget. So here the challenges could be making profit with a very lower price. Competition from other would be fearsome. There would be a lot of competitors over there. And the perception of lower quality due to lower price, even that exists in a lot. So here what you need to do is you need to come up with a different strategy altogether, maybe a very good USP. But there is opportunity as well. What are the opportunities over here? The second, where there is value for money choice. You have a wider customer base because most of them are middlemen or whatever. You have a wider customer base. You build the customer. You can also build the customer loyalty here. There's a potential of high sales volume and market share if your marketing strategies are right, and an opportunity to disrupt the established markets with value driven approach. Next is positioning based on use or application. So now what is this? Please give me a moment. Please go through the slide. So now when you say use or application, it will showcase a practical benefit and a real life application of your offering. So let's say if you are focusing on specific use case application of the product or service, what will that do? Let's say, do I have an example here? say your target audience is kids, school going kids. How would you, uh, what is the use case over there? What is the application here? You will go for a storytelling method, you will go for colorful animals and all these things. So when you know your use or your situation where your product or service excels, you can actually niche down your market with very specific needs. Now, there is a need for people, young children, they love superheroes and all. So you can niche it down to only superhero stationaries. Got it? So that is the example of positioning based on use or application. Here are a few examples. Band-aids. Band-aids are positioned itself for, I mean, if there is a minor cut, what do you do? You will just you will just buy a band-aid and apply it. Salesforce. Salesforce is a very focused company towards it's a CRM platform. Has anyone worked on Salesforce? It's a very effective solution, and it is actually niched down to that audience. It can highlight it. It highlights the ability to improve sales, marketing, customer service processes, and everything. Then is Shopify. Shopify is a platform which is used to build and manage online stores, and it emphasizes on comprehensive e-commerce features. I like Shopify is doing wonders today. Everyone is wants to open a store with Shopify, connect it with other platforms. Then Zoom. Everyone, if you want to go on a uh, online call, even if you use Google Meet, you will say let's Zoom. So that's how video conferencing. If you're talking about video conferencing, you talk about Zoom. Now, positioning based on user. This was use an application. This is users. Users is the target audience directly. This was a use. You have a use of video conferencing, you use Zoom. There's a use of e-commerce platform, you use Shopify. Now, users. If you know your particular users, oh, I'm sorry, the example I told you about superhero stationery, that is for users, not use. Sorry about it. Now, when your brand has association with very particular user group or very particular lifestyle, that is when you can position yourself as per the user. For example, if you want to, like, if you identify your customer persona as, okay, in order to do this, first of all, you need to identify your customer persona and drill it down to their psychographics, interests, behaviors, value, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, what are the fears, what is stopping them from making the purchase. You need to drill it down. After that, once you understand your user really well, then you can position your brand based on the user. You can also create an emotional connection with your target audience, like many of these. I mean, Harley Davidson does it, Royal Enfield does it. These are a couple of more examples. You may have a look at it. Then is positioning based on competitor. Now, this is something tricky. Why is it tricky? Because in this approach, you are directly or explicitly mentioning your competitor in your marketing communications. That will definitely draw your competitors between you, your brand, and theirs. You might have seen these ads earlier. Bonvita and Horlicks, they used to get into these fights and all. Actually, it is not allowed. It can go either way if it is not done correctly. So, have a look at these examples. Avis. Yesterday we saw that ad, right, in which uh, Audi used so all those competitors keys, rings, and it made Audi. It is like that is one way to use your position based on your competitors. And an excellent example there. Then Avis uses tagline, "We try harder," to position itself as an underdog compared to Hertz. emphasizing the commitment to customer service and exceeding expectations. Pepsi and Coca Cola were like the competitors. So, Pepsi has always positioned itself as a younger and more energetic alternative to Coca Cola. And you might have also seen those ads in which I think Mountain Dew used to do something and the other brand used to make fun of them and all. So, all this is example of positioning based on your competitors. This one is again tricky. Positioning based on cultural symbols. Why is it tricky? Let me tell you. Oh, before we move ahead, what do you think is the risk over here when you position based on competitors? What are the risks involved? One is risk of provoking your competitor response or even getting into legal actions. Then is potential to inadvertently raise awareness of your competitor's brand. If people don't know about your competitors, they will know now. Need for a strong evidence to support your claim. Let me show you an example. Okay, where is it? I'm just going through it. Hmm, Let me see. Twitter. So this is a brand called Wendy's. This is a direct competitor of McDonald's. So what these guys do is, let me show you an example. See, McDonald's are giving away free fries for National French Fries Day. That's cute. We got free fries every Friday in the app all year long. So they are roasting their competitors over here. So this is what Wendy does. Wendy roasts their competitors and everyone. So do I have anything else? No, that's all. So that is how you can actually position your brand on your competitors also, but it has to be done correctly. And the next one is positioning based on cultural symbols. Now, what does this mean? This is when you are connecting your brand with the cultural values, symbols, or icons that will resonate with your target audience. Now, again, this can be tricky if not used correctly because you are directly leveraging the cultural symbols or icons. But because you're doing, if you've done it correctly, it can have a sense of belonging and people can identify themselves to you also. So, let's see a few examples. Uh, McDonald's use the golden arch as globally recognized symbol of convenience, familiarity, and American culture. Coca-Cola leverages its iconic red and white color and the polar bear mascot to evoke feelings of happiness, nostalgia, and togetherness. Cadbury in India, it is associated with festivals and celebrations. They have done so much of hype around it. The moment I hear Raksha Bandhan, I can only think of Cadbury. So yes, that is how you associate yourself or position your brand based on cultural symbols. What are the challenges? What challenges do you think this might have? First one would be you need to have a deep understanding of your target audience's culture and value. It should not, it at times, whatever you are portraying can be perceived as inauthentic if not done correctly. So you need to be mindful of what you are doing. Then cultural symbols can evoke a change over time, which would be an ongoing adaptation. And finally, it can also alienate a segment of the market. We need to be careful over there. What are the opportunities here? You can create a very strong connection with your target audience that will further foster your brand loyalty and advocacy. You can also differentiate your brand from your competitors. This can lead to an increased brand awareness and recognition. Also, it will give your customers a sense of belonging to the community. Next one is how to integrate these brand positioning into marketing communications. Let's see, did I cover this yesterday? Is it repetition? Let me check. Role of brand positioning in marketing. We are saying how to integrate brand positioning into marketing communications. Okay, it's different. I thought I already covered it. Okay. So now that you have your well-defined brand positioning strategy, everything is done. Now you need to ensure that all this is integrated in all your marketing communication. It cannot be like, for example, McDonald has saying that I'm loving it. Let's say it's a tagline. They have a different tagline at the store, different tagline on their app, and different tagline in their email. Do you think it is well defined? No, it's not. You need to put the same tagline everywhere, the same logo everywhere. This will create a consistent brand experience to your audience. Okay. So you need to ensure there is consistency in messaging across all the marketing channels and align your advertisement, public relations, social media, and all the communication with this particular brand strategy. That doesn't mean that, oh, my brand color is purple. I will write also in purple. All the emails, all the font will be in purple. Don't do that. That is not what I mean to say. But wherever, if you're using a creative and your brand color is purple, use purple creative over there. Or don't overdo it, but every time people nowadays, every time any food, it is, if it has chocolate in it, they put this purple cover on it. Purple means chocolate, so you immediately understand that. So that's what I'm trying to say. The moment someone sees your brand color, they need to understand, oh, this is your brand. Here are a few examples of integrating brand positioning into marketing communication. First example is Red Bull. Red Bull is like, Red Bull. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I tell Red Bull? Gives you wings. Now it's changed its spelling of wings to WIINGS or WINNGS, something on the slides, because there was a case going on everything. So anyway, coming back, the Red Bull has a very clear brand positioning as an energy drink. And because of this energy drink, it will fuel your adventure, extreme sports, and sponsoring events and everything. Okay. So let me see. Am I missing something here? Okay. What about advertising? If you're advertising anywhere, how would you put your brand positioning in that communication? You would put your brand colors, your logo, your tagline. Similarly, if you are giving away something in press releases or media pictures, all these things has to carry your brand positioning and your brand colors and everything. Brand kit, rather. It will be in, as I told you, advertising, social media, on your website, on your physical store, everywhere. Now, how to measure and evaluate a brand position effectively. You have implemented your brand position strategy. Now you need to track it, if it's working or not, if there are any adjustments required. All this will ensure that your brand is relevant and it also resonates with your target audience. How will you do this? How will you track it? How will you know if everything is in order, if the customers are happy? How will you do that? What do you think? You would do that through customer surveys, conduct a market research. What are the people talking about you? Make necessary adjustment and maintain a strong and relevant brand position. Okay. Now, brand awareness. How aware are people about your brand? That can be easily tracked down using social media platforms. Brand perception, that can be taken care of through running some um, surveys, or social media sentiment analysis and customer reviews. Again, brand loyalty, how much are the people actually coming back to you? How loyal are they to you? This can be gauged by the repeat purchase rates and customer retention and all these things. And even the NPS, Net Promoter Score. We spoke about it the last time. Now, adapting brand positioning to changing market dynamics. What is it? Now, the business world is constantly evolving, as you know. Every day, today something is trending, tomorrow something else. It is gone, flop, show, everything. So, all this is happening because of the technology, emerging trends, and shifting consumer preferences shaping the landscape. How to be relevant and successful in this constantly changing society? What would you do? The brands might be adaptable and they should be willing to evolve their positioning so that they can meet the changing needs of the target audience and markets. They need to know what is trending in the market, what are the customers' preferences, is they changing, like what are the expectations, and all these things. And they need to be stay tuned with the evolving values and lifestyle. Competitive advantage landscape, you need to also keep an eye on what your competitors are doing. Here, for example, we have and it rebranded from traditional men's grooming brand to a more humorous building blocks. Now, building blocks, most of the time, who plays with it? Mostly children. But today, it has gone beyond the children, and even adults go for Legos. And it gives a very sophisticated building sets and experiences to others. McDonald's, it adapted a menu and marketing to address health concerns and offer a healthier option. Okay, so these are the various examples of how brands adapt their positioning. So let's take a quick break of 10 minutes and be back. Welcome back. So, we are done with the session of brand positioning. We will move on to the next chapter, that is brand architecture. Let's quickly get started. If you have any questions about brand positioning or need more explanation or examples, do let me know. I'll be happy to take it up. Just a moment, please. My screen is not loading. Hmm. Just give me a moment. Let me just check from our PPT. Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted all this while. I'm really sorry about it, guys. Let me start over again. I was talking about brand architecture. So we are done with brand positioning. So I guess we all understood what is brand positioning and why it matters, how it matters, and everything. So, as an assignment, I want you guys to write a statement for brand positioning. Let's imagine that you have a brand of running shoes. So, what would your brand positioning statement be? That's your assignment for today. Okay. So, moving on, we'll move to the next chapter, that is brand architecture. What is architecture? First of all, when you talk about architecture, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Architecture, buildings, how they are interlinked and everything, right? Similarly, brand architecture means it is a blueprint that will that structures and organizes all the brand's products, services within a company's profile. Now, Flipkart also owns Shopsy. I don't know, Meesho uses
मैम
it. Sorry,
मैम आपकी स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही
नहीं दिख रहा? Okay,
नहीं
just a minute. Let me share again. अभी
नो मैम अभी भी नहीं दिख रही
What will be the final decision taken by the university? As of
don't know what's going wrong. Let me share again. Share. No, no luck.
नहीं मैम अभी भी नहीं दिख रही
हम्म। जी मैं शेयर तो कर रही हूँ। और क्या करूँ यहाँ पे?
आया तो एक बार मैं आपका पेज रिफ्रेश कर दूं।
अच्छा, एक मिनट। कहाँ पे? टीम्स पे?
नो मैम अभी भी नहीं दिख रही है, या तो आप फिर एक बार शेयर कर दो।
हम्म, नहीं हो रहा है, क्लिक ही नहीं हो रहा है ये शेयर का ऑप्शन।
या तो
प्रेजेंटर
मैम
तो
आप
हूँ।
एक बार लीव करके फिर ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं और फिर
चलेगा।
शेयर कर सकते हैं। ओके।
जी।
ओके मैम अभी दिख रही है स्क्रीन में।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर। Okay, guys, so let me start over again about brand architecture. Now, what do you understand by the term architecture? The moment you think of architecture, start picturizing buildings and how they're interconnected. So, similarly, a brand architecture is a blueprint of a brand. Not necessarily one brand will only have one outlet. It can have multiple brands, products, and services under it. So, within the company's portfolio, whatever brands and products and services it is linked with, everything will come under brand architecture. Okay, so it's like a family tree. There's this company's brand, and then how are they interlinked with each other? There can be a marketing team, there can be a product team, there can be a different team for the CEO, CFOs, and everyone, the management team, and a team for everyone who can have general access. Okay, so let's say Flipkart. Flipkart also owns Shopsy. So if you look at the chart for Flipkart, how will it look like? How will the architecture look? Flipkart, then there is Shopsy under it, and there could be multiple other platforms, whichever, multiple brands or products which it owns. So this framework, it defines the hierarchy, the relationship between the brands, and it ensures clarity and consistency on how the company presents itself to the world. Make sense? So, what is the role of brand architecture? Why do we need this? Let's take an example of Unilever, the brand. Unilever has a house of brands architecture where each brand like Dove, Axe, Lipton, etc., all these operate independently at its own distinct identity and positioning. But if Unilever has to cater to these all these customer segments, it will need an architecture in place. It needs to know which brand is doing what and where. Let's see if I can find the structure. Okay, just a moment. Unilever's. Let's see what happens when I check Google. Just a moment, please. Okay, now have a look at this. Now, if you just look at Unilever, where did it go? Okay, have a look at this. Unilever's, whatever is the beauty products will be under this Dove, Axe, Lever, 2000, whatever, whatever. Then it has another tree over here. maybe shampoos and everything. I don't know. This is the soap bar and everything. This is for Vaseline and lip care and comfort. This is something else, toothpaste or whatever. This is something else, the tea and everything. This is a food product, I guess. And this is again something else. So this is how the architecture of the brand will look like. Let's see something more. Um, look at this. Now, branded house. These are the branded houses. In that also same identity, different identity. Sub brands. What are these sub brands? L'Oreal. In L'Oreal also you have the men's expert. You have something else. Then you have the core drivers. That is Kellogg's. What is this? Rise and this something on those lines. Strong endorsement brand. Strong endorsement and linked names. Token endorsement, house of brands, shadow endorser, and not connected. So this is how you can create a brand's architecture. It can be as simple as the one I first showed you, or it can be as complicated as the example in this. Okay, makes sense about brand architecture? So, when we looked at it, Unilever has this house of brands architecture where each brand operates independently. Now, when you look at, I think even Parle-G has it. Let's have a look quickly. Parle-G brand architecture. See, it has biscuits, it has sweets, it has snacks. Sorry. Yeah. So this is how, even if you have a brand and your brand is into a lot of products and services, it becomes important to have your brand architecture in place. Okay, so I think I'm not able to get anything else now. Nope. Okay, I think Nestle. What about Nestle? There you go. Nestle is a company name, but it has a lot of products which might or might not be interlinked as well. Nestle, let's see. These are the various products it offers. Those are the various brands. Okay, so now you understood, you have a fair idea about how a brand architecture would look like. Now, what is the role of brand architecture? Does architecture actually matters? How does it matter? What is its brand? What role does it play? Let's talk about that first. Now, first of all, brand architecture plays a pivotal role in, a vital role in creating a cohesive brand experience. Creating a cohesive brand experience. What does that mean now? What do you think it means? Have a look at this example first. Apple follows a branded house architecture where all its products and services like iPhone, iPad, MacBook, Apple Music, etc., are clearly associated with the master brand. This creates a seamless integrated experience for customers who associate the Apple brand with innovation, design, and friendliness. Still, let us see this. Okay, Apple branded house architecture. Let's see what we get, shall we? See? Okay, have a look at this now. Apple. Apple has Apple Mac, Apple iPad, Apple Music, Apple Watch, Apple TV. Now here, Apple is famous for how this. Okay, this explanation can be different. So this is the chart for Apple. Let me see if I can get something better. Okay, this is a better version, right? So if you see, if you look here in iPhone, everything is listed under iPhone. This is a very good chart, very good brand architecture. If you look at it, so there would be Apple here. Under Apple, you can see all the iPhones here: iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11 Black, blah blah, everything. Then you have the services. What are the services? Music, TV, card, Arcade, News Plus, Apple Store, Apple Camp, Apple Watch Studio, Apple Field Trip, Apple at Work, K2 Education, K12, K to 12, iCloud, family sharing, everything. Then comes the Mac. Under Mac, what all do you have? Everything is given here. Watch, iPad. So this is a very clear-cut branching, I would say, right? This is also a good way of listing down its branches. If you look at it, master brand is Apple. Product of families, iPhone, Mac, AirPod, Watch, HomePad, iPad, these come under the product families. Then comes the services it offers. Under iPhone, what are the services it offers? Music, Apple Camp, under Mac, maybe Apple TV, music, blah, 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 whatever. You can have a look at all this. Then comes product variants. What are the product variants under iPhone, under Mac, AirPod, Watch, HomePad, iPad? Then comes creativity apps. Then operating systems, subscription packages, if any, and the partnerships as well. So this is a very good way of, very good example of brand architecture. This is how, if you are working for a brand, this is how you will map down their architecture. Okay. So, as I told you, this is a master brand and it creates a very seamless and integrated experience for the customers as well. So, overall, if you just ask me what is brand architecture, it is a strategic backbone that provides structure and clarity to the company's brand portfolio. When you define the brand relationship and create a very good experience, it will empower the companies to effectively manage their brands, communicate their value proposition, and build a strong customer relationship. Oh, I'm sorry about the spelling here. Got it? What about the various touch points? Now, you have a brand, suppose iPhone. iPhone has so many uh, brands under it or so many products under it. So, what do you suggest? How would the experience be across all the touch points? If a customer came looking for AirPod and another customer and the same customer came looking for iPhone, should these are two different brand touch points. So how would the brand experience be for all these touch points? Would it be the same? Would it be the different because they are different products? What do you think? That's a question for you to answer. Ideally, from packaging to the marketing campaigns, all this should convey a very consistent message. Unless it is like Unilever, Dove will have a different message, and I think a different Colgate, or I don't know, not Colgate, something else. Website will have a different message because it is totally different products. Unless it is like that, what about Apple? Would the message be consistent everywhere? Right from packaging to marketing campaigns, would it be a consistent message or would it be different? What would promote a healthy company's overall brand identity? What do you suggest? That's a question for you to answer. Once you define this brand relationship, and okay, I think we went through this. Then let's talk about the importance of brand architecture. You will say that, hey, I know what my company is all about. Why do I need a brand architecture? I know these are my products, these are my services. So it is not just about creating a very good organization chart for your brands. You said, why do I need to create all these things? It's not just that. It plays a very important role in shaping your customer success because it provides a clarity, a focus, and it will also help you in strategic decision making. Okay, so let's talk about it in detail. It facilitates the brand management and decision making. How does it do that? How would you suggest it will do that? Because you are clearly defining a roadmap. You are showing the roadmap where your brand is, where it was, where is it going, what are the brands under you. For example, if you just if Flipkart launches this app, which one? Shopsy. Shopsy is a new brand which you can shop a lot of clothing with a very cheaper price than its competitors. Now, if Shopsy comes in the market, what would I, as a customer, do? First thing is, I'll inquire, is this a spam? Why is it so cheap? Myntra has it for what? 1,000 rupees, and this app is showing me for 400 rupees. Is it a spam? That would be the first question. So, if I look at this brand architecture, I will understand, oh, this is actually by Flipkart. Flipkart is a trustworthy brand now. So a roadmap is clear that you have streamlined the processes. This would actually help in your, first of all, management and decision making. It will help you if you want to do this, not, it will help your customer also. Okay. It will enhance the clarity and consistent in brand communication. You will have a unified voice. Let me show you quickly about um there is my Subsea, and let me open Flipkart. What is the brand color of Flipkart? What do you think? Blue, yellow, gray. Now go here. Is it the same blue? No, it's a different blue. But you can see blue. You can see yellow. Now, do you understand what I'm saying? Even if it is it is a standalone platform, still a Flipkart user would be able to understand whether it is trustworthy or not. Let's see if it mentions Flipkart anywhere. Thank you, Flipkart. See, Flipkart seller. Flipkart seller. Are you getting my point? Okay. So there is a unified voice here. What is a unified voice? In this case, it was a brand color. Even if it was not the same blue and yellow, but still, it avoids confusion. So I would not be like flabbergasted. Oh, this is a new brand that's coming. Is it trustworthy? Why is it so cheap? Should I go for it or not? It avoids that kind of confusion because it enhances clarity and consistent over here. Consistency. Let me see. It enables effective leveraging of brand equity. It builds on existing strength and it maximizes the value as well. Let's say, how does it maximizes the value? If you strategically manage your brand relationships, the companies can maximize the overall value of their brand portfolio, right? Supports new product launches and brand extensions. That Flipkart and Shopsy example I showed you, that is a brand extension. Now, provides a framework. What does it mean by provides a framework? Now, well, a brand architecture, it will provide you with a framework with which using which you can actually evaluate a new product opportunity and then you can determine what is the best way to position and launch them with your existing brand structures. If you understand this framework, you can easily reduce all the risks that is involved over here. Now, if you leverage the existing brand, leverage the existing brand equity, and you ensure consistency, a well-defined brand architecture, it would minimize all the risk that is associated with the new product launch and the brand extensions. For example, this Shopsy, if you look at it, just by looking at this, I would say that how is it possible? 269 for this? How is it possible? The first thing that comes to your mind is this even legit? Is it a scam? So I will go to Google and say, is Shopsy scam? I will go and check. Now, if I check this, it is by Flipkart. I was like, I am relieved. Now, here, when they did it the right way, they had a clear roadmap, they streamlined the process, and they had a unified voice, avoided the confusion. What did they do eventually? They came up with a very good brand, which actually reduced the risk while they launched it. Okay. Streamlining marketing efforts and resource allocation. How can you do this? What is this? Targeted marketing. What is targeted marketing? Any idea? Now, brand with the help of brand architecture, what you can do is you can create targeted marketing campaigns for each brand product in line. Let me show you an example. Now we saw about, yeah, in the Unilever, if you look at it, do you think the target audience in this bracket would be the same as this or this? Each would be different, right? Because they have a very good brand architecture in place. They will know exactly what kind of target audience lies in each and what kind of advertisement or branding they need to do for each one of these brands. So that is how they can do the targeting brand marketing. Now you tell me, even though it is Unilever is the major, is the first, is the parent or brand, for Dove, what kind of target audience are they looking for? Even in this bracket, they are different. Dove and Axe is different. Dove it is female, and Axe it is more of men. So in this, they know their targeted audience is this. What kind of message do they want to convey? That is also clear, right? Now let's talk about Pepsodent and Close-Up. Is this target audience the same as this? The target market the same? No. Now because they had laid down a very well managed and very streamlined, what do you say, brand architecture, they can actually target each group separately and optimize it and gain the best out of it. Yes. Then is efficient resource allocation. What does this mean? Because they have a clear understanding of their brand priorities and relationships, these companies can allocate their marketing resources more effectively and avoid any duplication of efforts. If they have, let's say, now this particular company has the same marketing department for this and this, because there is an overlap, they would say. Now, this Dove would launch a campaign and they will promote, and Vaseline will launch another campaign. But they have to be sure Vaseline has a very particular target group, and Dove has a very particular uh, target audience. They shouldn't duplicate the same marketing strategies over here, or the same message over here, the same tagline in both the places. So all this will be streamlined if you can put a very good brand architecture in place. Now, did we understand what is the importance of brand architecture? Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's see. Hello, guys. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a minute. I'll just share my screen. Okay, where is it? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, guys. I'm so sorry about that. So quickly, just to paraphrase whatever we studied about importance of brand architecture. This brand architecture is a strategic tool that will help companies to build a strong and recognizable brand. It will create a cohesive and compelling brand experience. It will optimize the marketing efforts, support growth and expansion, and finally, maximize your brand value. So, now that we understood what is brand architecture, the importance, let's quickly drill it down furthermore. Now, what is the main purpose of brand hierarchy? Now, we understood what is brand hierarchy, what does it look like, what is its importance. Why do you think, what is the main purpose of it? Its purpose is to clarify and define its relationship between different brands and product lines within the company's portfolio. So, if you have a very clear understanding, what will happen? It will visually depict how many brands relate to each other. It will help consumers understand the breadth. Okay, we already covered this. I'm so sorry. Okay, we covered the slide already. So I'll just move on. I think, okay, here is an example. We already saw a couple of examples about Parley, about Unilever, and Apple. Here is an example of Nestle. Now, how will you draw the brand architecture of Nestle? The corporate brand is Nestle. Family brands are Maggi, that is instant noodles, sauces, or seasonings. Maggi is not just the noodles, we also have the Maggi tomato ketchup, we also have the seasonings, Maggi magic masala. Then we also have Nestle coffee, Kit Kat chocolate, Nestle Milkmaid, which is condensed milk. This is how you will further. I mean, if you have to just write down a brand hierarchy, this is how will you write it down. I want you to come up with a brand hierarchy for Parle G. Parle G has a lot of companies under it. So I would love that if you could come up with something. So if you looked at this hierarchy, this will clearly demonstrate how different brands and everything is connected under the Nestle brand itself. This will help the consumer to understand the company's diverse offerings and also help Nestle in efficiently managing and marketing its vast brand portfolio. What are the different levels of brand hierarchy? When I mentioned over here family brands, why is it family brands? What do you think? We will talk about it in detail over here in the levels of brand hierarchy. The first one is corporate brand. Now, this is the highest level in the hierarchy. It will represent the parent company and its overall identity. Often, it talks about the company's mission, values, and its reputation. Now, a corporate brand may or may not be actively promoted by consumers. It will all depend on the chosen brand architecture model. Let us go through this. Procter and Gamble, B&G, Unilever, Coca-Cola Company, or even Nestle. This is the corporate brand. This is the corporate brand. Did you understand when you note down? inside this, you have all these. So, in the corporate brand, you have the family brand. This level represents a group or related products or services under a common brand name. Family brands offer caters to a specific market segment or need. They can leverage the equity of corporate brand while maintaining some degree of independence. Have a look at this. Now, we understood that when we talk about the name of the company, that is the corporate brand. And inside the corporate brand, you can have all these brands. Whenever you talk about Maggi noodles, not everyone will know that it is a Nestle product, right? So it can stand alone also independently. It can enjoy some leverage, and it's each of these, if you would agree, that each of these companies would have a different marketing strategy, different branding strategy, different brand colors also at times. It won't have to go as per, it might have a slight inclination towards Nestle, but everything can, all these companies, all these products can have their unique selling point, can have their unique color palettes and everything. So that's what I mean by in the family brand, it can be related products or services under the common brand name, and often it caters to a specific market segment or need. They can leverage, for example, Maggie itself. Maggie is not just noodles. I used to initially think that Maggie is a different brand, and that is the corporate brand, and Maggie has like noodles, sauce, and seasonings under it. So later on, I understood that no, the Maggie is a family. The corporate brand is Nestle. Okay, it happens at times. So this is because there is a certain level or degree of independence that these brands are enjoying. Okay. Okay. Here is an example in PNG. Now, PNG, Procter and Gamble, this is a corporate brand, and under that we have Tide, that is laundry detergent, Pampers, that is baby care, Gillette, that is shaving products. Got it? So we have the corporate brand. Under that we have all these different family brands. Unilever, we already saw. Let's quickly have a look at P and G. P&G. Look at that. Okay, makes sense? If you want a detailed version, you can get that also. Here you go. All right, makes sense? Okay, let's go back to the PPT. And Unilever, we already saw how the brand architecture looks like for Unilever. It has personal care, deodorants, tea also. Everything is not even linked to each other. Soap, where is shampoo, where is tea? Then comes the individual brand. So how did we come here? First was the corporate brand, the name. Then comes the family brand, and then comes the individual brand. Now this is the specific brand name given to a particular product or service. It can have its own distinct identity, positioning, target audience. It may not be explicitly linked to the family or corporate brand. It will depend on the architecture model itself. Have a look at these examples. So if one PNG, let's say architecture, corporate, family, and what was this individual? Let's see. This is a very good, but these are all different companies. Ah, look at this. I like this. See, this is the uh, basic strategies, sub strategies, and everything. So, house of brands not connected and shadow. Okay, where is that image? Okay, they haven't again classified it as such. Anyway, if I find a very good image about it, I will definitely put it over here. If not, then I will create one and put it for your reference. So, are we clear on individual brands? What is individual brand? So, in the family brand, Tide, Pampers, all this can be the family. Individual brand can be Tide Pods, Pampers Waddles. Okay, Unilever can be Dove Men Care, Axe Dark Temptation, Lipton Yellow Label. I understand Lipton is the family brand, and if you want to further, for example, let's say Parachute hair oil. Okay, Parachute, and then Parachute hair oil can be different. Parachute oil and Parachute, I don't know, cooking oil. Let them come with cooking oil. All this is called when you go on individual level. If you further classify Pampers is the okay. Let me explain it using an Excel file. Let's say now, which were the examples here? P and G. Now, P and G, if you look at it, that is the main. What is this? This is the corporate brand. Okay. Inside this, within this, you have the family brand. Family brand is which one? P&G Tide can be the family brand. Or let's say just okay, Tide is a family brand. Now these guys came up. Tide can further be classified to Tide Pod or Tide lemon and I don't know, lemon flavored, lemon, lemon and flower or Tide Lily. So when you do this, this becomes an individual brand. Got it? Got it? This is how you classify corporate brand, family brand, and individual brand. Now, each of these will have its own individual. So, Tide as a whole, you will say, oh, Tide is like a very good brand and everything. Now, Tide lemon and flower would be different than Tide lily and then Tide pod. So they will have their own identity and positioning and a target audience also. Tide can also, let's say, Tide came up with, I don't know, it comes up with fabric softener, Tide fabric softener. So if you look at it, each of these individual brands will have their own target audience also. They will have their distinct identity and positioning as well. Okay, that is called as individual. So you understood the levels of brand hierarchy. Is it clear? The last fourth one is modifier, the product descriptor or a variant. Now this level will provide additional details about the specific product or service, such as its flavor, size, or specific feature. It can actually, what this will help in doing is it will differentiate the variation within an individual brand. For example, let's say a Tide Pod. Let's talk about Tide Pod. Tide Pod can have spring meadow scent, or it can have an ocean mist scent. When I am telling Tide Pod has all these things, now this becomes further drilling down. As dark temptation can be body spray, it can be a deodorant stick. These are the features. Lipton yellow label can be tea bags, it can be loose tea. Now, this is further classification. It is called as a modifier. How can this modifiers be? It can be flavor wise, can be size wise, or it can be any specific feature wise. Like the deodorant, it can be a stick or it can be a spray, or it can be like a pocket deodorant which is like flat or something. It's a feature or size or any flavor. Okay, got it? Clear on this? So I think our time is up as of now. Let's go through these examples and then we will call it a day. Examples of brand hierarchies is one is branded house, any monolithic brand like a Unilever or Apple or FedEx. What is happening in this kind of model? The corporate brand it dominates. In Apple, if you say iPhone or not Unilever, sorry, Apple. When you say Apple, the brand itself, this is the corporate brand that is dominating. Whether it is laptop, computer, or desktop, TV, let's say watch or anything, you will not drill it down to iPhone or iPad or all these things. You will say Apple, okay. When there is a monolithic brand, that is branded house, the corporate brand is the one who dominates, and all the products and services are marketed under its umbrella. This will create a very strong association between the company and its offerings, and it will directly impact the brand's equity and reputation. Another example is FedEx. These are the two examples. Now, house of brands. This was monolithic brand in which the corporate brand dominates. Second one, our example was Unilever. No, people won't even know that the Dove shampoo or soap that you're using is Unilever's, or Axe or Lipton is Unilever's. No, not everyone would know that. Or the Tide is from P&G or this. So this kind where the individual brands dominate or they operate individually or independently and they have their distinct identities, this kind of model is called as house of brands. And each will have a distinct target audience as well. This will allow a great flexibility and targeting for a specific segment of market. This is very helpful when it comes to house of brands. Even Parle-G has house of brands. Finally, the last one is a hybrid model. This will have the elements of both a branded house and house of brands architecture. Some brands can be closely associated with corporate while other can work independently, like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has Diet Coke, has Sprite. Sprite and Fanta can work like as an individual, and Coca-Cola and Diet Coke can work under the corporate. Marriott, Marriott Hotels, Ritz and Courtyard by Marriott. These are the examples of hybrid model. So that's it for today, guys. We will continue the brand hierarchy in the next class as well, and we'll try to finish it. So yeah, that's it from my side, from me today. You have a lovely weekend and have a great time. Let me know if there is any confusion or you want any further clarification about any topic. I will be happy to take it up. Thank you, guys. You have a great weekend. Bye.